Welcome back, my New World friends. Today, I'd like to share with you my top 8 items to farm to help you make some gold. These are lesser known items. Let me know in the comments if I forgot any of the popular ones, because I know I did. Stay to the end and find out. So let's start right away. First thing to do is anytime you see a farm, do not neglect it because there'll be very valuable items in it. Things like corn, potatoes, squash, carrots, broccoli, cauliflower. They all sell pretty well. Some of them are 2 to 3 gold or more each, depending upon the need for them for different cooking items. So definitely don't neglect the farms. Also, in the farms, you're going to find things like supply caches and provision chests at the same time, and you'll get things out of those like other cooking ingredients, yeast, milk, things of that nature. And then also things like obsidian flux, obsidian sandpaper. So don't neglect those chests while you're in the farms, and definitely don't neglect the farms. They're a great way, especially for low level players, to make money because there's really not much danger in any of the farms. Not all farms have the same types of vegetables and such, but most do. Most have pretty standard corn, broccoli, carrots, cauliflower, potatoes, squash, etc. Let's move on to the next idea. All right, the second thing you're going to want to do is always, anytime you see rabbits or turkeys or armadillos, you're going to want to kill them, because if you can get some of the rare blue drops like that, some sort of rabbit meat there, or the prime armadillo meat, like that rabbit meat right there is usually between 75 and 110 gold. So now you're not going to get a lot of them. You'll have to kill a lot of rabbits, but there's some pretty cool areas. Like I do have a video called 1001 Rabbits where I kill 1001 rabbits to see how much I get. I made a lot of gold, and I also found something cool in that too. So if you check out my channel, that video is on there. But so yeah, definitely don't neglect the beasts. Now for some of these, you'll probably want to wear skinning gear and then eat the skinning luck food. Right now, I don't have the skinning gear on, but I did get a few of the blue items while I was doing this filming, so not too bad, even with just the skinning luck food. You can also go one step further and have the trophies and stuff in your house as well. So never neglect that stuff, because like I said, those rabbits, that meat is worth 75 to 110 gold. The prime armadillo meat, sometimes around 50 gold, 60 gold. And then the turkeys, if you get the blue turkey breast, the poultry breast, that's around 20 gold. So because it's used in the cooking item for the luck food for mining, so it's pretty popular as well. So definitely don't skip these, and let's move on to the next thing. So the third thing we want to focus on is AOTH Water. AOTH Water, the AOTH springs that you'll find, mainly you'll find a lot of these in Reek Water near the swamps. You'll get 4, 5, or 6 AOTH Water each, and they're usually worth 7 to 8 gold, sometimes a little more, just depending upon what day of the week it is, actually, when people are crafting the most. So if you get a lot of these, like there's some routes where if you check out New World Database, you can search the item AOTH Water, and it'll show you where some springs are located, especially a lot in Reek Water, like I said. And you can make a good bit of gold doing this. Next on our to-do list, so number 4, is anytime you see a fortress area, even if it's low level, make sure you go in there. Usually, especially if it's low level and you're higher level, the mobs are going to be easy. And you're going to want to go in there and gather up regents from the supply caches, ancient coffers, etc. So you want to run in there, grab all the chests you can, because that can add up pretty quick. Another thing along the same route, I'm not going to put in the video because everybody probably knows at this point if you're higher level. But if you see a shout for one of the daily chest runs, like Merc Guard, etc., go jump in that. Don't be scared, even if you're a little bit lower level, like you're only like 60 or something, because we used to do it at those levels anyway. And you'll get a lot of items. It's a good way to get maybe even a golden scarab doing that kind of stuff. But so join chest runs and hit these low level areas anytime you see them. That's my next tip. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, kind of sticking with some of the things I just said about chest runs and stuff. You also want to grab the free elite chests that are near teleport shrines. So there's a lot of those in Brimstone Sands. Now you'll have to have the glyphs. I don't have a video on glyphs, but there are plenty if you just search the Brimstone Sands glyphs for New World or New World Tournum. You'll be able to find routes that'll show you how to unlock all of them. But if you do have them unlocked, this is a good way to make some extra gold. There's golden scarabs in these, sometimes some higher level legendary orange gear, things of that nature. So you can make pretty good gold doing that. And they're easy because they're usually right near some teleport points. There's also, if you, during the daytime, if you go into the Shrine of Kepri where the giant beetle is, and you stay on the outsides, you can grab those chests fairly easily, as long as it's daytime. If you run into the middle of the shrine, then you'll actually pop the monster. So you might not want to do that. Let's move on to the next. Okay, on to number 6. The desert is your friend. There's tons of things in the desert that you can get, especially for Arcana. If you get these prickly pear cactuses and these succulent plants, you're going to get aloe and cactus flesh. And the aloe especially can be pretty valuable depending upon when people are doing a lot of crafts. Sometimes that's 3 or 4 gold. Whenever I made the video, it was like 2.75 gold. So it was a little on the low end, but you get plenty of it. And then also, if you're in the neighborhood for hyssop for your crafting, for your arcana crafts, there are so many herbs. So everything that's red is an herb in the desert. And especially near the towns or the outposts, there are tons and tons of herbs. So this is the go-to place to farm your hyssop for your arcana crafting. Then also there are things like sulfur and sandstone. So if you see any of that, get that, because that's pretty valuable. And even some of the beasts drop ironhide or darkhide. So if you kill those, and that includes the small lizards that just kind of walk around the ground, if you hit those, they actually draw darkhide. Like right here, after I chop this cactus down, I'll kill this lizard, and we'll see what we got here. I think there's 32. Yeah, drop 32 darkhide. So that's a good way to make some money. So pretty much the desert is your friend. Chop down the cactus, hit the succulent plants, sulfur, brimstone. You can make a lot of cash that way. And if you see a shout for ectoplasm glob run, get in that too, because people use that to make the rune glass cases, and that sells very, very well. So, all right, let's move on to number 7. Okay, for number 7's New World of Tournum gold making item. People overlook these a lot, and they're bulrush cobs and briars. They're both used in basic level arcana skills, but they sell pretty well. Nobody bothers gathering them because it's just kind of tedious and boring. But the briars sell for 2 gold or so a piece, sometimes 2.5 gold. And then the bulrush cobs usually sell for about 1 gold, sometimes 0.7 to 1 gold. So it's a good way to make some extra gold in New World whenever you're farming. Anytime you get near a river or a freshwater pond, when you're farming things like bison or any of your rawhide, if you see them, don't forget to grab them because they're worth a good bit of gold. Okay, so the last item I want to talk about are elemental motes, which are used in arcana to make the quintessence once they're combined together, and those are used for high level jewelry making. So those are pretty pricey. And then also you're going to get some of the lodestone, the different types of like fire lodestone, water lodestone with it that you'll use in your stone crafting. So you definitely want to, anytime you see any of the flowers, the light flowers, the fire glories, any of those soul crags or scorch stones, etc., you want to grab those because they're worth a good bit. So I know I forgot a few things. There's different things that other people farm. So let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you like to farm in order to make gold that maybe people don't know about, unless you want to keep it secret, which that's totally fair. Look forward to seeing you all in the next video. If there's something you'd like to see a video made on, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments. I appreciate you watching, and I like to get some ideas of what people like to see, because the game, it's not in a great place right now, but I think it's in a better place than it was a few months ago. We're getting some new players in again, and hopefully we can keep up the trend with the new players. So look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Have a great time in New World of Tournum.